Peter John Stoltzman here, and these are 2/5 progressions. 2/5s give you that jazzy flavor that artists like Stevie Wonder, Nora Jones, Harry Connick Jr. bring to the table. Let's get started. In Workbook 2, Section 9, you will learn to play and transpose 2/5 progressions using the secret formula, and you'll perform 2/5-1 progressions in various keys with left-hand walking bass lines. You really can't study 7th chords without discussing 2/5 progressions. So let's just jump in. In the key of C, the 2 is D, the 5 is G. So 2/5 in the key of C is D to G. And D is minor, G is major. Although if you make it 7th chords, D is actually a minor 7 and G is a dominant 7. And that's really important. It's a minor 7 to a dominant 7, a 4th up. It's a minor 7 to a dominant 7, a 4th up. So that's D minor 7 to G7, and that's a 2/5 in the key of C. If you want to resolve it, you go down to C major. That's a 2/5-1. But sometimes 2/5s resolve, sometimes they don't. And you just want to get to know what a 2/5 is right off the bat. Now, this is a little jumpy. There's no voice leading going on. And there's a secret formula that I want to teach you that helps you actually play a professional 2/5. And this is drop the 7 of the 2 down a half step. I like to call it drop the sizzle of the tizzle down a hizzle. Alright? I'm a child of the 90s. What can I say? We drop sizzle of tizzles down hizzles. That's the 7 of the 2 down a half step. Sometimes you can just say drop the 7, drop the sizzle. Alright? We're going to drop the 7 of the 2. That's the C is the 7 of D. Okay? We're dropping the 7 of the 2 down a half step, and that gives us a beautiful G7. From there we can resolve to C if we want. So, let's check out that G7, because you're probably saying, what the heck is that? Right? This is not a 7-3-5 voicing. In fact, this is a 3, the B is 3, 7, 9. This is relative to G, right? So in G, the B is 3, the F is the 7, A is the 9. This is a 3-7-9 voicing. So we go from a 7-3-5 to a 3-7-9 voicing. And 3-7-9 voicings are really hip, cool voicings. So this is another 7th chord voicing that you can start to put into your toolbox and transpose to other keys and use along with your 7-3-5. But I would say first, if you're just getting into 7th chords through this book, make sure that you've got your 7-3-5 voicings down. That's your default, guaranteed professional sound. But when you get into a 2/5, that minor 7 going up a 4th to a dominant, use that secret formula, drop a sizzle down a hizzle, and you've got a beautiful professional voicing. Now if you want to resolve it to the 1, boom, there it is, 7-3-5, C major. 7-3-5, 3-7-9, 7-3-5. Alright, you got to practice that. You got to transpose it. But before we get into transposing, I want to just show you a little extra. If you do the D minor 7 in a 3-7-9 voicing, ooh, that's nice and rich, isn't it? F is the 3, C is the 7, E is the 9 on D minor. You can still use the same formula. Drop the 7 down a half step. 7 is C. Drop it down a half step. And you've got a beautiful G7. 7, 3. It's essentially 7-3-5, but it's not. It's 7-3-13. Now, if you're a jazzer and you've gotten into jazz theory already, you may be familiar with 9s and 13s and all that. If you're not, you may be saying, whoa, and that's okay. Don't sweat it. We'll go there. We'll get into all those numbers and stuff in Workbook 3. But for now, all you need to know is that secret formula. Drop the 7 down a half step, and then you can resolve to the 1 if you desire. All right. So, how to practice this stuff? Again, 12 keys. Choose a key. If you know your major scale, you know what the 2 and the 5 is, and you can go through and actually work out your chords. So let's go to like F, how about? Okay, so F, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. G is 2, C is 5. The 2 is a minor 7. The 5 is a dominant 7, and all we're doing is applying a secret formula. Drop the 7 down a half step. Bum, bum. That's a 2-5 in the key of F. And you can resolve it if you desire to the 1, to the F major 7. Go through all 12 keys and really shed this stuff. You want to get it in your fingers, put it in your toolbox, install it in your brain. Now let's move on to page 60 and actually do this with a cool bass line. All right, so what I've got on here right now is just 1 5/8, which is not a cool bass line, but it's okay. This will get you through. Let's do a walking bass line with the left hand. And first variation is diatonic, so it's all notes in the key. That's 1, 2, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3, 5 on your first 2 chords, and then on C, a little more interesting. Let's do an added chromatic bass line now. We got a chromatic note right there up to G. Chromatic means half steps. Chromatic up to G, and then chromatic down to D. Chromatic up to G. Chromatic up to C, and to G, and then down to D. So that's a pretty fun, funky bass line. And put this in time and experiment with it. Use your creative imagination. You can have a lot of fun trying to work out walking bass lines. If you're into it, this, in my feeling, is not required. This is if you're into it. Get some walking bass line going in your left hand. Adds a whole other dimension to what you're doing with 2 5/1s. I hope you're learning something. I hope you're having fun working on this, and I'll see you next time. Peter John Stoltzman here, bringing you inspired, joyful piano music. Thank you for watching. Leave a comment and let me know what videos you would like to see. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notifications bell. And stay connected with me by going to my website and signing up for my email list. Listen to my music on Bandcamp and follow me on Facebook and Instagram.